Brady didn't retire and then unretire just for the hell of it. You know, he's talked about it before where, you know, the one thing in his career that he really wants to do is have a perfect season. I think Tom Brady's out for blood this year, so give me the Bucks.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? I'm Brandon Tierney. Welcome back, week 2 of Put Your Money Where Your Mouth Is. Now, this is a game show where two of the internet's top sports cappers face off against one another to see who can earn more cash for their wallet. Throughout the game, I'm going to challenge these guys to come up with all the best bets to make for this upcoming weekend's games. Now, if I like what they've got to say, they'll earn some cash. But keep in mind, if they don't, I'm not afraid to take it away. So there's nothing that's a given here. We run a tight ship. Now, at the end of the show, they'll take what they've earned in the game and throw down a big bet for Sunday night's Bears-Packers game. All right, there we go. You got the rules. Let's meet the competitors. Tonight, here we go. Big Kevin, he's got the vintage Kevin Durant Sonics hat. What's happening, Kev? How are you?
So I'm representing the game day as a betting analyst, coming here to lay some sense into Kenny Bets Big. And you can catch me on Twitter at BoogieDownPicks.
Very understated but confident delivery. We'll see where that takes us. This guy's not understated. He lets you know when he wins, and he's the champ. He's back. Kenny Bets Big. What's happening, dude?
Not much, BT. How we living?
Awesome.
Feels good. 1-0,
Yeah.
the reigning champ, and I'm not giving that crown up anytime soon. Here for week 2. I'm going to beat Kevin like he stole something.
All right, let's keep it moving. Time for a little quick fire. Now, this is the round where I'll ask a betting-related trivia question for cash. Now, if you get it right, you win the loot. As a little bonus, if you can convince me which side to pick, you'll win some extra money. Pretty simple stuff, so let's get into it now. This one's for $20. In week 1, 3 games ended with over 52 points scored. Now, in this week's matchup, there are 2 games with a point line of at least 51.5. The first one is tonight, obviously, Kansas City and the Chargers. That's 54. What's the other one? $20. You gonna pocket it right out of the chute, or I sense a little trepidation. I don't know if Kenny knows
what's
it.
the other game with a high total?
Yeah. At least 51.5. One other game.
1.5. I feel like this is not it, but I'm gonna just say
Hey,
it's
give it a
it.
shot. Let's go. Take the Band-Aid off, buddy.
Let's go Dolphins-Ravens.
No, I got you. Not Dolphins, Ravens. Kevin, what do you think?
I believe it is the Cardinals and the Raiders.
Dang, hook him up. 20 spot right there. Look at Kev.
I think they fed him these questions before.
I think so. He's almost too confident when he said that. Like he just knew. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
right?
Like he cheated
Exactly.
on the test. For an extra $10, should we take the over or the under on that one?
Oh my God, I'd rather get hit by a spiked bat than have to pick a choice, because I think they've nailed it. But I'm going to go with the under just because the total is still over 49 and 50. And those are pretty frequent totals.
Okay, $10. What about you?
I'm going to go over.
Okay.
Little square. I know the overs tend to be a square play, but, you know, Cardinals defense looked terrible against the Chiefs. We saw what they did. The Raiders offense looked really good. Devontae Adams picked right up where they left off at Fresno State. So I think both teams should put up some points in that one.
Okay, a little difference of opinion. That always makes it interesting. You know what? I'm going to take the numbers and throw them out the window. I'm not actually sure which one's going to be right, but I just know when I play something, playing the over is more fun. I mean, think about it. Listen, I'm not saying it's more profitable, but when you put money basically, literally, for nothing to happen, a little boring. So you said the over, right?
Yep.
I'm giving you 10 extra
All right,
bucks.
let's go.
Over. I'm going
My
to ride
guy.
the over. All right, Kenny. Let's talk Cardinals. $30 question. Now, obviously, Arizona got waxed by the Chiefs on Sunday. It was gross. I mean, Mahomes did whatever he wanted. The most updated win line here is 7.5. So what's the better odds according to BetMGM? The over or the under? 7.5 wins for the Cardinals. Kevin, you're up first.
I got to go with the under on the 7.5 wins for the Cardinals because look at how tough their divisional schedule is in the NFC West. Do you trust them twice against the Rams? The Niners I'm not so bullish on, but they're still going to be a tough opponent.
So what are the better updated BetMGM odds for you? 7.5. Over Cardinal wins or under?
I'm going to say over.
Do you say that with confidence or
Yeah, I mean,
tough team to read?
They are, but I think the Cardinals, you know, with Kyler Murray, and they get Hopkins back. So, you know, week 1 against the Chiefs, they didn't look good. But I think the Cardinals usually a public team. Public likes them. So I think it'll be juiced to the over.
Okay. Next for $10 here. Kenny, you're up. Which side should people at home be taking? Where would you go there?
I would go over. I think long term, the Cardinals' season projections are better than 7.5 wins. At least I think so, especially when you consider they get DeAndre Hopkins back after what was he have 6 games?
Six.
So yeah, 6 games.
Yep.
So you got DeAndre Hopkins, Hollywood Brown, Kyler Murray. He still looked like a video game player out there. Ton of talent on that team, and they were missing some key pieces on defense week 1. So I think they'll get better.
I still can't read you, but the facial expression suggests you might disagree. Am I reading you right?
Yeah, I mean, I do disagree without looking at their schedule, because when I'm on my computer, I can give you the spread of all their upcoming games. But I'm on the under for this just based on their strength of schedule.
Yeah, it was a weird offseason. They put that in his contract about the study, the study benchmark, and then they took it out. I thought they embarrassed him a bit, and he gets hurt a lot. I think I'm kind of with Kevin on that. I'm not a big Cardinals backer at this point. All right, $30 coming your way, Kenny.
All right, we're back in the mix.
Back in the mix. You were never really out of
Nah,
it.
never.
You're a confident guy, right?
Never out of it.
You could be down 90 to 10, and I think
Yeah.
that you still think you have a chance
Yeah,
to
one
win.
thing about those tables, BT, is they always turn, you know?
That's right.
That's
You
it.
can't get up too early. I hear you. All right, guys. This round is called Get in Line. Rules, very simple stuff. We're going to be discussing tonight's game, the Chiefs and the Chargers. Now, I'm going to list you a player prop line, and you're going to give me the best argument you can muster up. If we're going to be taking the over or the under. If I like the argument, if I buy it, I'll give you a little money. If not, you're not getting anything. So we're going to start with some rushing stats here. The $30 question. Clyde Edwards-Helaire's rushing line this week is 47.5. It's minus 115 for the over. It's minus 115 for the under. All right. Last week he went for 40 deuce. How do you think he's going to fare this week against the Chargers defense?
So I think that the Chiefs are going to be running the ball a lot because they're going to be up. However, there's a lot of mouths to feed in that backfield. They're not going to give it the ball only to Edwards-Helaire. And running backs get injured all the time. So historically, if you look at player props, the most profitable angle, if you're just putting a blind on your eyes, is to take every single running back under. You still got to look at each one
hope the
specifically.
guys go down? That's an ominous way to bet, man. I know we want to make some money here, but hoping guys twist their ankles, that's a tough way to
This
go.
guy's gambling on the gamble.
What can I say? I'm the betting Grim Reaper, but it cashes.
Hey, money's green. I hear you.
You know, I think 47.5 is a pretty accurate number based on his skill set. But I don't see him getting enough carries to hit the over.
Okay, so you're gonna go
even
under
if
on that.
Even if he doesn't get hurt, I don't
Gotcha.
think he gets enough carries, and I'm going to take the under.
Okay, what about you there, Kenny?
I'm going to say over. A couple reasons why. One, I think the Chiefs will be winning, so they're going to, not abandon the pass, but lean a little bit on the run game, chew some clock. And, we've seen it year in, year out. When there's an elite quarterback on the other sideline, what do you do to keep them off the field? You run the ball, you chew clock, you try and keep them sitting on the sideline as much as possible. And then we see Mahomes go absolutely crazy week 1 against the Cardinals. The Chargers are going to game plan to stop Mahomes. They're not game planning to stop Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So, if anything, I think there will be some run lanes. There's going to be less guys in the box because they're going to be playing to game plan against Mahomes and Kelsey. So I like the over there.
It's good logic, Kenny. I'm going to roll with you on this here. Again, you guys get hurt. I hear you, Kev. I got it. That's a relatively menial number, and the way you set it up schematically, $30 in the account. Nicely done there, Kenny. All right, boys, just to reset the scoreboard, Kenny has jumped in front. He's had a nice little surge. He's got 70, and Kevin, you're sitting at 45. This one's for $25, guys, okay? Justin Herbert's pass completion line is 25.5, and it's minus 105 for the over. It's minus 125 for the under. Last week, he just hit the over, if you recall. He had 26, all right? Do you think he can hit that again, meaning more than 25.5 in week 2? Kevin, you're up first.
Well, I think the under is the best pick because I think they're going to be doing more rushing attempts this week, which is fewer passing attempts. He can also throw a 70-yard bomb or 60-yard bomb, and that would be only one completion, taking away completion opportunities. So I like the under, even though it's a little juice.
Okay, Kenny?
I'm going to say over, and here's why. When you're a kid and you get a new shiny toy on Christmas, you play with that toy till that thing's worn out. The Chargers coach is not using Justin Herbert to turn around and give handoffs, right? He's got a cannon of an arm. He wants to, they retooled on offense. They retooled on defense. There's all the hype around them coming into the season. He's going to send Justin Herbert out there and let the guy do what he does, throw the ball all over the field and see if they can get the win.
Listen, Kev, I'm starting to get a little nervous for you here, man. I'm objective. I got no dog in the fight, even though, Kenny rocked it last week. I'm with you. How is Herbert, unless the conditions, a torrential downpour or something wacky, or, of course, if he gets hurt, God forbid, 25.5 for me is relatively menial. So, boom, 25 points.
Cool.
Kenny back in the pocket.
We're here. We're here to stay, baby.
All right, boys, and just to update, Kenny's still up 95-45 over Kevin. So let's close it out. A little Travis Kelce. Last week, his longest reception was a 35-yard spot. This week, the line, 22.5. Kev, the over's minus 115. The under, same thing, minus 115. How do you feel about the line? Which way you leaning?
I'm leading to the over, believe it or not. I think he's going to get a lot of targets, and that's going to increase his opportunities to get a big one.
Kenny?
Yeah, I'm going to say over as well. I know the Chargers have Derwin James, which, could make things tough for Kelce. But, again, Patrick Mahomes, number one target, especially with no Cheetah now. I think Kelce is poised to have another big game because, again, if the Chiefs are going as him and Mahomes go this year, so.
All right, guys, time now for a segment we call Best Pickup Line. And no, not what you used to do about 10 years ago when you were hitting the bars and doing Lord knows what you were doing. This round, guys, your last shot to win a little more money before we hit the final round here on the show. Now, I'm going to give you a Week 2 matchup. Each one of you will have a chance to respond to the specific matchup. And you're both going to hit me with a best lock specific to that game. Each round is worth $50. We ready to go? All right, Saints hosting the Bucs. Kenny, you're up. What do you have?
Again, I'm not a big favorites guy, but Tom Brady, that's my guy. He's made me a small fortune over the course of his career in my lifetime. So I'm going to back the Bucs here. Saints did not look good against the Falcons. The Bucs, they got off at the gate a little slow against the Cowboys, only the one touchdown. But Julio Jones did look good. So, as they spend more time together. Tom didn't even practice really in the offseason, so now he's got a game in. He's going to get a little practice in. Typically, the Saints play the Bucs tough, but I'm going to lay the points here, and I'm going to take the Bucs. And I feel good about that one. I think Brady didn't retire and then unretire just for the hell of it. Mm-hmm. He's talked about it before where, the one thing in his career that he really wants to do is have a perfect season. And I think the defense has a chance to be the best defense in the league. He's got the weapons around him. I think Tom Brady's out for blood this year, so give me the Bucs.
Okay, he's motivated, but Kevin, as you know, and he alluded to this, he's had some stinkers against the Saints over the years in a Bucs uniform. What do you have here?
I mean, having stinkers against the Saints doesn't really matter at all. It's a small sample size over a large period of time. I'm all over the Bucs as well, but I have a different rationale. When you look at the key numbers, as I said, I'm a numbers guy. The most common margin of victory in the NFL is 3. 16% of games, or 1 out of 6 games, are decided by exactly 3 points. And right now, the Bucs are sitting at 2.5. So, football-wise, in terms of why I'm taking the 2.5, it is a little bit dangerous on the road in New Orleans, but NFL home field advantage has declined over the years. And, just look at the Saints team. I don't think that they barely made it through against the Falcons when they frankly should have won by more. Jameis Winston, I don't have much confidence at all in him as a regular starting quarterback in the NFL. I think he relies too much on his running game, and I don't think he's an aggressive passer. The running game is strong for the Saints, but that Bucs defense, you don't want to mess with them. Tom Brady, even though he qualifies for the AARP, he's legit. So, the minus 2.5 is one of the few bets I would actually take this week.
I got to tell you, that is one well-thought-out response right there. I mean, he dropped more numbers than I could even try to crunch in my brain. So, based on just the presentation alone, you got a 50 spot right there. And by the way, even though you did minimize his performance against the Saints, small sample size, I grant you that. Kenny, the reason I'm not giving you the points, he threw a pick 6 against them a couple of years. He has not looked great against them. I know Sean Payton's not there. I get it. I'm with Kevin on this one. You got a little 50 spot in your back pocket. All right, so $40 down, man. We got to make the move here. Seahawks at Niners. Seattle looked functional. That place was popping the other night against Denver. The Niners, slop fest Chicago. Tough to really extrapolate too much from that game, but you have to if you want to come back as reigning champ. What's your best bet from the Niners hosting Seattle?
I like the Niners here. Again, NFL typical overreaction from one week to the other. A lot of people saw what the Seahawks just did. They're going to think they're a little bit better than they are. Probably get more of a public action on them.
Yeah.
And typically, Kyle Shanahan as a coach in the NFL on the road, not very good against the spread, but at home he's actually stellar against the spread. So I think the Niners bounce back. They're a better team. Defense is super legit. They are a actual real contender in the NFL to get to the Super Bowl. So yeah, I think the Niners win that one.
Real quick before, Kevin, you give us our answer, and I know you want to hammer home the numbers behind it, which I totally get and respect, but do you think because they just beat Russell Wilson, that place where they were foaming at the mouth, that almost as a city, as a team, they exhale a little bit like they accomplished something, that they had that game circled all summer. And when you come through and you punctuate a win, you could be looking at a letdown here. Either way, take it however you want, this game.
Yeah, I mean, I think they largely got the spread right for this game, that San Francisco should win. I think it's a little bit too aggressive maybe. And if you put a gun to my head and had me pick a side, I'd probably go with Seattle if you can get plus 10.5 or better. Right now we're not there, but we're close. What I really like, because I don't like the idea of the 49ers having a blowout, and I don't think Seattle's offense is up there yet. 42.5, yeah, it's a pretty low number, but I think it should be even lower. So the under 42.5 would be my play, just because I'm not convinced that the 49ers are really going to pound the hell out of Seattle. I can see the 49ers running the ball, taking some time off the clock, and we could see a boring 21-17 score.
Yeah, not boring if you take the under. If you're going to collect, it's never boring, right?
But that was the Seahawks Super Bowl. Did you see the way they were celebrating after that game?
That's why I said what I said.
Yeah, that was their Super Bowl.
Uh-huh.
No expectations for the team coming into the year. Week 1, they just won the biggest game they're going to play all year. So I think perfect hangover spot coming into week 2.
I got to be honest. I agree with you. Kenny, I'm going to give you some money on this one.
All right, let's
that
do
one's
it.
worth $50 right there, folks, because, and again, I can't quantify this. I can't quantify the emotion, but having, doing what I do every day, talking sports and just getting a sense and knowing what they're calling in all week, they're calling in Seattle. Oh, what a win. Russ this, screw Russ that. And not that the players get big heads, but they hear it. They exhale a little bit, and I don't know that they're fully ready to rock. I got the Niners. I like that one. Good pick. All right, guys, here we go. Time for the big one. This is the final round. Now, with your bankroll, you're going to be putting your money where your mouth is. Let's see what you guys have, how much confidence you have. Sunday night, Bears and the Packers, always a fun rivalry. So whoever has more money on Monday will be our winner. And I hear there's more punishment, which is fun. The losers got to do something wacky. And Kevin, we have heard that you have come to the table with something wacky. What are you presenting punishment-wise here?
Punishment-wise, I'm going to dress up in a banana suit, and I'm going to go on a city bike and bike the entire Grand Concourse in the Bronx from the bottom of the Bronx to the top.
That is quite the visual, Kenny.
Yeah.
Are you down with this? You going to get in that suit too?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lose, so.
All right, well, here's where we are scoreboard-wise, gentlemen. Kenny has $155. Kev, you're in the neighborhood, man, and not in the Bronx yet. You got 145, so you're certainly within shouting distance. Here we go. All right, Kev, you are the challenger. You've been talking smack all day, quietly confident, your own style, as we found out. What are you rolling with here?
Here's what I'm rolling with. So Justin Fields, last week, he got the win, but his performance was dreck, as you would say in Yiddish. All right? Wasn't that good. He's in his second year. He's not quite there yet as an NFL quarterback. Aaron Rodgers did not inspire much confidence either last week. Packers should win. 10 points is too much to lay. I like the under 42.5. However, that's not going to be my pick because I just don't have confidence that Kenny is going to profit on this game. So I'm going to go with an alt total with a smaller payout.
Wow.
To increase my chances of not having $0. I'm going to go under 49.5 points, minus 250.
Wow. We got it, 49.5. Kev, going interesting direction. Good luck to you, bud.
I'm going juicy fruit.
All right.
Taking the juice.
Okay. Gotcha. You going Hubba Bubba? What are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, if he's going to lay the juice, I might as well do the same. I was going to go Bears 10.5 at -120, but if we're laying the juice, I'm ahead. So if I lay the juice too, I'll still win. So let's go. Bears on BetMGM +17 -275.
Okay, so you're just saying Bears don't get smoked.
Primetime game. You fade the public. You will win money at the end of the year.
There you go. That's why he's the champ so far. Still, we'll see if that changes. I like them both. You know, I don't know if I'd go in the direction of alt lines there, but listen, you guys are the experts. I'm just navigating the show. I do think Chicago hangs around within 17. I'm not overly impressed with the Packers. We don't know Lazard's official status yet, but even if he does play, you know, where is he at full steam-wise? And that offense looked very disjointed. So to expect them to put up a 40 spot or a 37 or 38, it seems unrealistic right now. I like it. And then with you, the over-under, going under, I like that, jacking it up to a spot that I don't think the Bears will necessarily contribute enough to get it in the neighborhood of a 49.5 or 50. So on the surface, take it for what it's worth, America. These guys are the experts, not me. I actually like both picks so far. I might play them. All right, boys, that's a wrap. Kenny, so far the defending champ. We'll see if you're back. Kevin seems to be a worthy challenger. We'll see where this takes us. If you see a guy on a bike in the Bronx looking like a banana, that means he didn't do well. Some exotic bets here. Hey, who are you guys going to have this weekend? Make sure you drop the comments below. Thanks to our friends over at BetMGM. Check out all the BetMGM deals at thegameday.com. Enjoy the football. We'll catch you next week right here. Have a great week, everybody.